So I decided to combine War 2 and War 3, and so this is War 2. I've got Mephisto on Path 9 as usual, and then this Mysterio, which caught me a little bit off guard, and then Sentinel and this Dragonman on Path 9. Nothing super difficult, just, things you got to be aware of. This Mephisto, even though it's power focus 1, his aura bypasses that, and so he'll power gain at a normal rate on his aura. You can see me throwing on these mystic boosts. That's for the Mysterio fight that I'll do with Magic. But I don't boost super hard. Both of these fights are just about playing correctly. It's not so much about, basically as long as you don't screw up too badly, you'll be fine. And especially with this being a 5-star. There's really not too much to say about this Mephisto other than, just be aware of the aura and his SB1, sometimes if you're a little bit off on that, you can eat it. So you'll see me just block it. I just didn't really feel like, getting too fancy. And I was originally going to try to bait his specials without triggering dexterity, but that was another reason for blocking it. But then that kind of went out the window, and now I'm just like... So now he's got another aura. You'll see him go right back up to a bar power because the power focus 1, and then the aura just gives the normal amount of power. But still, it's really not too difficult of a fight. This is more just... Actually, I don't even know why, because they didn't put anything on node 9, so I guess this is just a diversity placement. Slightly annoying, but really nothing to be worried about. I never did check whether or not he was running an MD. I don't think he was. But without that, that makes it even easier. So here's me baiting one last special, and then it should be the end of the fight. Yeah. This next fight, the Mysterio, I didn't notice it on the path assignments originally because I'm not used to taking node 22 or 23. This is node 22, which is the power snack, and I think the last time I took this with Mysterio against a Domino. And so this one I was a little bit like, I was out of SB1 boost, but I was like, I don't really need it too much. I just really kind of need to avoid proccing dexterity until I can get him on lockdown. So I try to do a few reparries, but I miss more often than not. So I don't know if I just need to practice that more against his animations or what. But there, I finally got one. But I've almost got him locked down here. One more, and he'll be below a bar power and be a little bit safer. But still, I'm trying not to let him throw the specials, just because his SP2 would have power drained me, which just made it longer before I can lock him down. And the SB1, I just have to wait out that whole time with the whole power snack thing going on. So I mean, it's a pretty decent placement here, but if you can get to that first lockdown, everything else on this fight's pretty much downhill. Unfortunately, he didn't really backdraft too much on this fight, and I've noticed that in all this season, like backdraft, like it's really hard to get your opponent to backdraft at all. So I mean, as you can tell, it's a pretty easy overall fight. It's just about getting to that first SP2 without him throwing the special. It is global protect, so I thought about using magic for both these next two fights, the Sentinel and Dragonman, but the problem with that is Magic's SP2 triggers protect if she crits. So that just adds another issue on top of it, because if they aren't, backdraft intercepting, then the only intercepts you got are bare intercepts like that one and that one. So that's not exactly something you can rely on too well. So you can see I'm trying to keep his analysis charges down a little bit. I'm not too worried about pushing him to SP2s, though, because I can just tank them. But he just wasn't beefy enough to get through my Rulk, so I went ahead and throw the SP3 there, even though this is going to push him to 3 bars. He's dead. So that was a pretty easy fight. This next one's the one where you've got to be used to fighting Dragonman, is all I'll say on this. Like, if you're going to take him without some type of power control champion, you need to understand his mechanics. And a big one is if you block the last hit or one of his hits from his SB1, he'll remove a power gain and put an ineptitude debuff on you. I forget exactly what the ineptitude debuff does to you, to be honest, but it's just free willpower healing to me. So you can see here I'm baiting the special, letting that ineptitude get onto me, and I think some part in this fight I remember, oh yeah, it's protect, not stubborn, so I can just go ahead and dex out as soon as I get the power charge off. And that's when I had the spacing just right for the last hit only to get to me. I'm still trying to maintain the spacing there, and that's where I get caught a little bit, and now I'm like, ooh, that's not good. So my spacing's pretty good on this fight, but it could be better. Overall, I'm not too sad about this fight, because he can get squirrely really easily, but I'd say I did pretty well. So yeah, that's the last fight of this war, I think. Yeah. And so we'll move into this next war where the thumbnail pretty much refers to this next war, because this war was, kind of, stuff I've done before and wasn't that big of a deal. But this next war, it'll get interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot. For people who see me bring a synergy champ and then wonder where I use them, I use the white mags here on the korg to make it a little bit easier, and then I used it on the boss to give a little bit of extra attack in one other place. Here's where things get interesting. Airwalker is large, so he has protect. Havok is not. He does not have protect. And that's where things get interesting. And then I thought I was only going to have 3 fights this war. Spoiler, I'll have a 4th. That's part of the thumbnail. And so on this first fight, I can't use Captain Marvel movie because he is protect. As soon as I'd enter binary with her, I'd basically be able to do, it'd be kind of like a ghost fight. I'd be able to do 1 hit, back off, and land an intercept. Otherwise, the protect would be reducing damage. So Captain Marvel movie, I can't build up her binary charges going into that Havok fight, which will come into play. So you'll see all these boosts are pretty much because I'm not confident in that Havok fight, because I've done it before. I think I've posted the videos. I don't remember it, and it's a lot of luck, because if you can't build up your binary charges before, you need him not to throw any specials or any special ones, and you also need him to be free with the repairs and all that. But yeah, so I just Rulked down this one and because I was like, I can't use Captain Marvel movie. So going into this fight, it's so I pretty much, that Airwalker with Rulk, like, that's a great thing about Rulk, is I don't think he can trigger protection at all, except for maybe on his SP2. I've never tried his SP2, so I don't know. So you'll see me, I'm keeping things very slow, trying to get to the binary as quickly as possible, which I did. So I got there nice and safely. I'm trying to stick to 4 hits, but I see my indestructibility going away, and I could see how things are playing out. So I'm like, come on. I'm still trying to reparry. And so then I'm just like, all right, screw it. I'll go into a 5-hit combo. Immediately throws the SB1, and I'm like, crap. So there's 1 detonate. And I finally get to a special 2 here. And obviously that's going to cause another detonate. So I really need more crits. I should have probably, this is the only thing I could think of that I could have changed on this fight, is if I would have stuck to baiting his heavy more and countering with my heavy, that would have been less hits, and it would have when he charges a heavy, he gets rid of some of his plasma built up. So, but yeah, I'll probably just bring Warlock for this fight in the future. I can rank 3 him now, so it would just be safer. I throw away a bunch of these team health potions because I always forget I have them. But yeah, I think pretty much it's either, if you can't charge up Captain Marvel movie on the fight before, and even if you can, it's just a lot of luck. I think I think Havok here is either got to be a Ghost or a Warlock fight, and I don't really think there's really any other viable option that's reliable. You can maybe Quake it, but you'd still have to bait out a special at some point. So anyway, now we go into my surprise fight. And so one of my VG members died to this fight twice, and I was called in as backup, and I'm like, okay. So basically what advice I was given is thrown on invulnerability boost, parry, and hope he throws a heavy. And I'm like, what? That's all the advice you got for me? Basically pray? I'm like, gee, many Christmas. So I'm sticking to that, and so I'm just pushing him straight to SP3s. And I'm like, all right, he does not have any power control, so he should be pushing me pretty close to 3 bars of power. And while the Incinerate from the SP3 won't do too much, it'll do a little bit, and the after damage should do quite a bit. So right now, all I'm trying to do is get to SP3. A little cheeky intercept there. And there's another one. I was like, well, if I intercept, then he doesn't get kinetic reactor. So yeah. There's another heavy finally. So this fight was just fun. And the officer who told me to do this fight was basically, good luck. That's all his advice was, and I just kind of chuckled. I was like, well, I'll see what I can do. So you can see here, I survived through 2 SP3s with the invulnerability. I don't think I could have soloed this, like if he was at 100%, because at half health, because you'll see he would have gone Incinerate immune, so that would have taken that damage away. I'm not really sure. But he was at 52% when I went into the fight, so I'm a little bit proud of that fight, because that involves some skill and a couple intercepts, and basically do not mess up, because since he already had 4 charges, if he hits a second time into your block, you're stunned and you're probably dead, or pretty quick. This fight, it's a Korg. I'm boosted up big, so I'm not gonna die to it. It's not really much of a fight anymore. As long as I boost big enough to be able to properly eat the thorns damage, then it's just about getting to the special 3 and throwing that when the rock stacks are off. And you don't really need to remove Dex. I tried that for a little while and it got me in trouble a couple times. So I don't really know what to say on this. I've done this fight so many times with Red Hulk that it's pretty much, if you've watched my other videos, it's just about, make sure you throw on big enough boost to be able to eat the damage that you get back from the rock stacks, and make sure the rock stacks are down before you throw the SP3, and it's pretty simple fight. You're going to take some damage, but it's nothing too complicated. Just make sure you know what SIG Korg you're fighting, because the higher the SIG, the more damage back you're going to take, and the bigger the boosting you need to do. I'm not really sure if there's a limit on how much boost or how big his SIG would be before you could no longer just over boost to get through it, but it's whatever. And there we go. It's over. So going into the stats now, I've got another death on my plate, so that's not good. But I'm up to 12 kills, 80% solo rate, 16.06 true difficulty rating, minus 2.7 solo rate bonus. Ouch. Power rating is 9.14, and then you can see by my PR rank in BG 2 and for Loki, not a great season. So I redeemed myself a little bit on that apocalypse fight with Rulk, I think, because when an officer's advice to you on what to do is throw on an invulnerability and good luck. Yeah, you know it's a fight that it's not really set up to be a success story. So I'm sure they were fully expecting me to die at least once there, but I got through it. So if y'all enjoyed the double war vid, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not, and yeah, I'll have a good one. Bye.